Good evening. Fixing the defective part would have cost General Motors less than $1. Failing to fix it cost at least 13 people their lives. Today, members of Congress demanded answers as the new CEO of GM testified to explain why the company waited a decade to recall cars that it knew were dangerous. GM is in Mary Barra's DNA. She is the daughter of a GM factory worker and has worked for the car maker since she was an 18-year-old intern. But as Jeff Glor tells us, she tried to distance herself today from the actions of previous management.
Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the
Shortly
truth?
after Mary Barra took the oath, Congresswoman Diana DeGette displayed a GM ignition switch and said it would have cost the company 57 cents to fix it.
GM knew about this problem in 2001. They were warned again and again over the next decade, but they did nothing.
Committee members repeatedly referred to GM's own documents, saying that in 2005, engineers decided fixing the problem was not an acceptable business case.
When GM concluded that the tooling cost and price pieces are too high, what does that mean?
I find that statement to be very disturbing. If that was the reason the decision was made, that is unacceptable.
Barra, who's been at GM 34 years and took over as CEO in January, kept blaming the old GM for a culture centered around cost and lack of communication between departments. She frequently apologized to families whose loved ones had been killed or injured in crashes.
We think the situation is tragic, and we apologize for what has happened, and we are doing a full investigation.
Barra was questioned again and again about why the faulty switch was redesigned in 2006 without changing the part number. Mechanics had no way of knowing the new parts from the old defective batch.
It is inconceivable, it is not our process, and it is not acceptable.
But the committee often expressed frustration Barra wasn't able to give better answers. Congressman Joe Barton.
What you just answered is gobbledygook. It's your own specification.
Chairman Tim Murphy asked her how much preparation she'd done.
Did you review the documents that the GM submitted to the committee?
No, I did not. There was over 200,000.
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
The committee then heard from David Friedman, the acting head of the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, or NHTSA. NHTSA saw a trend in GM customer complaints in 2007, but never did anything.
The crash investigation information we had was inconclusive and was not able to point to a specific defect.
GM announced that they've hired Kenneth Feinberg to handle compensation claims. He worked with families after 9/11, the BP oil spill, and the Boston Marathon bombing. Scott, the Senate asks questions tomorrow.
Jeff Glor on Capitol Hill for us tonight. Jeff, thanks.